better take the pictures down, so you can actually see me this morning. But then again, some folk may say, maybe better not. I haven't even got the camera switched on. Just give me a minute. I'm going to get into some of what Brendan Rodgers said about Yang. What Brendan Rodgers said about Yang once everything starts up. And also when we can officially win the league. And there may be a possibility that Celtic can win the league without even kicking a ball. Yes, that is correct. There's a chance that Celtic may win the league without even kicking a ball if results were to go the right way. Oakley's in the house. James Gunn is in the house from Oakley. Fantastic. But I used to like working in Oakley. I used to do jobs in Oakley. Used to like Oakley. Nice wee place. Wee Masonic place, is it not? Like most of that part of Fife, isn't it? But anyway, Mad Mark, what country are you in? What? Anyway, I've totally lost the plot now. Brendan Rodgers talking about Yang. Yeah, let's talk about him first. Let's talk about Brendan Rodgers and what he said about Yang. And the fact that Yang's getting his Nat King goal, basically, didn't he? It just, Brendan Rodgers says, look, he's in a happy place. His girlfriend's over from, nudge nudge, wink wink. So he's all happy just now. And maybe that's helping him get hit a little bit better for him. But you've got to say, Brendan Rodgers has worked an absolute piece of magic when it comes to Yang. And I've not changed the lower text. There we go there. Not better there. Here we go. Yes, so what's your thoughts on the games yesterday? Brendan Rodgers saying that Yang is in a good place because his girlfriend's over. He's getting a bit Nat King Cole and he's all happy. He's in a happy place. It's not just that. Brendan Rodgers has to take some credit for what Yang has turned into as a player. When he first came to Celtic, he was sort of a wee bit of a skinny fella and didn't look as if he would make it. He was a bit lightweight on the wing, but he seems to have bulked up a bit. He does seems to have bulked up a bit, and he seems to be the player now that Brendan Rodgers thought he could be. And is it one of the cases that Brendan Rodgers has worked his magic on the player? Let's say good morning to everyone first of all. Yang was sensational last night. Couldn't be happy for him. Stephen Johnson's in the house. Mad Mark's in the house. James Gunn's coming in from Oakley, Fife. It's the dark depths of Fife. That's at the back of Fife. It's like no man's land, isn't it? Just winding you up, mate. It's just out the back of Dunfermline, really. Ewan Boy Martin's in the house saying good morning. Gus Fitzsimmons is in the house. Les Watts. Yang Guns. Everybody will need to be working out their guns now, aren't they? The Yang Guns. Kieran Douglas is in the house. Yang was sensational last night. Tommy saying hail hail. And it's just jumped up. Anton Rogan's left foot. And Gareth says morning from sunny West Belfast. I'm on day 2 of rain. Day 2. March is a terrible month for me. It always rains here. If it doesn't rain here in March, you're in for a shit summer. If it rains here in March, we're in for one shit hot summer. Front three, as it stands, should be Jota, Maeda and Yang. Right, here's the thought then, because I think people were given... Is Adam Idah becoming a bit of a scapegoat? Michael says, well said Baz, Kuhn is weak in a tackle, not producing anything near the level he was earlier in the season. Idah needs balls into the box. I think he's been made a scapegoat. What do you think of Mike's comment on that? And then next comment is, if they don't want to play for us, get them out the door right away. I'm going to make a prediction, and I'm going to predict that Adam Idah will be here longer and way longer than Nico Kuhn. I think Nico Kuhn will be away this summer. And whether we like it or not, I think the fact that Newcastle have been sniffing about him for such a long time, has it made a difference to his game? He doesn't seem to be taking on players the way that he was. He doesn't seem to be wanting to go in for tackles. he's kind of holding back, a bit like Rio Hatate was yesterday. I mean, Rio Hatate pulled out of 3 tackles in the build-up to a goal yesterday, including the one where the guy hit it into the ground. You know, and Rio Hatate pulled up like this. We need to talk about Rio Hatate later on, but Nico Kuhn and Adam Idah. I'm going to make a prediction that Adam Idah will be here for at least another three seasons minimum. I think Adam Idah's here for the long run. As long as Brendan's here, Adam Idah will be played as a second choice striker, a first choice striker, and I think that he's not getting the service that a 6-yard box. You've got to remember, Adam Idah scored his goals when he's running through the middle. When he's running through the middle of the 6-yard box. He's not been getting that lately. He's not been getting that. He's not been getting that at all. He's been pulled away out wide. He's not getting the balls into the box. He's a goal scorer. Adam Idah is a goal scorer. Is he being made scapegoat? And that's the question that was posed. Idah's decent. I think Idah's brilliant, but he's better as an impact sub. Easy prediction, says Anton Rogan's left foot. Adam Idah's a bit like Gary Hooper coming off the bench for impact and goals. 2 massive games coming up. We'll talk about that in a minute. Adam Idah's confidence as a player seems to be needs to believe a bit better. I'm hoping he can come good. He scored about 10 goals this season. I'm not exactly sure how many he scored, but he scored a good number of goals. And when Kyogo walked out the door, he stood up to the plate and he scored a couple of goals the very next game. Is it the case that Adam Idah struggles when he starts a game? Is it the fact that he is maybe better an impact player? But then again, he started the games after Kyogo left. So anyway, I just think that Adam Idah as a player, I think that how do you drop Maeda when he keeps scoring up top? Yeah, this is true. But all we're doing is putting Dyson Maeda in the shop window as a utility player that can play in a couple of positions up front and can score goals and has an electric pace on him. And we all know what happens. I mean, I still think that there's a possibility of being 3 big sales this summer. And I still think that going into this summer, we will lose Rio Hatate, Nico Kuhn and Dyson Maeda. I think that those will be the 3 that we will lose this summer. I hope I'm wrong, but I hope we keep Dyson Maeda. But I could see Nico Kuhn jumping ship to a bigger league, because he will see that as the route to getting into the German national team. He will see that as a route to get as Baza sacked yet. No idea. Win the league, we will see Idah. How do you drop Dyson? I trust Brendan Rodgers' eyes for a player, even when it takes a bit of time. Exactly. And look what he's done to Yang. If he can do that to Yang, you've got to remember, Adam Idah's just a young guy. Do you know, he's not in his late 20s. He's not in his late 20s. When Idah played for Norwich, he played on the wing. He had a few games as a striker. There you go. Yet we brought him aside. Adam Idah is better when we play counter-attack rather than possession football. I think they were more fluent after Kalmark went off yesterday. Kalmark, does anyone else think that? Yeah, we were Paradise fan. Similarly, Brendan Rodgers, I think Brendan Rodgers came out and said yesterday why. Got to remember, at this time of year, over the past couple of seasons, Callum McGregor has been struggling with an injury because of the amount of games he's been playing. Now, could it be the fact that Brendan just pulled him off? I shouldn't have said that, because I'll get... So Brendan took him off the pitch and maybe he was feeling it. And Brendan just wants to try and get the most of him. I came to laugh at Rangers, says JR. We already need 2 players. If we lose 3 more, no chance. 5 players down before chaps qualifying. I think that we will move a bit quicker in the transfer market this season. And I still think that this will be another season where I think there'll be between 5 and 7 players will leave Celtic permanently this summer again. When you look at the players that are out on loan, Stephen Welsh, Lagerbielke and such, I think that they'll decide that their time's up and they'll try and... Stephen Welsh isn't coming back. If he's getting played any game time at all away at Celtic. He knows he's not going to come back. He's not want to come back and sit on the bench. He's done it his whole career, and he just wants to go and play football now. So you'll see players move on, and I think that there will be at least a minimum of 2 will leave the first team. And by first team, I mean Rio Hatate and Nico Kuhn. Those are 2 that will definitely, I think that this will be the summer that they will move on. Anyway, next up was Tommy. He would sell Scales. What was your thoughts on that? What's everyone's thoughts on that? Scales, sell Scales. He's done a bit of time to find better quality, especially for Europe. It's time to find better quality for Europe. I would keep Welsh as a 4th choice centre back when he comes back in the summer. But will Welsh, this is the question, will Welsh want to be 4th choice? He's been 4th choice for many a year at Celtic, and now he just wants to go and play football. Is it at that age? You know, he's came through the youth system, he's got some game time at Celtic, but he's not playing on a week-to-week basis. There comes a point when an outfield player is not a Scott Bain, and they don't want to just sit on the bench like Scott Bain. They want to play football. Keepers are lazy. Do you know, keepers are lazy. They're lazy and crazy. That's keepers. They're lazy and crazy. They stand about for the majority of the match and then make some fucking crazy ass dives. So yeah, I would sell Scales, Noroki, Lagerbelke in the summer to fund a new centre back, says Tommy. So what's your thoughts on that? And then David went on to talk about Wee Yang has fairly came alive recently. His stats in the last 4 or 5 games are excellent. Couldn't have happened at a better time in the running. Hopefully it will continue. Also, I've ran out of... Yeah, I think that we've all run out of words on how good Maeda is. The guy is absolutely bordering on world class nowadays. Long may he wear the hoops, boys and girls. Excellent result tonight. 16 points clear. And that is what I mean. Maeda producing what he is producing will only gain the suitors, and especially in Europe. You're going to get some big guns that have played in the Champions League. You're going to get teams that are in the last 16 of the Champions League coming for Maeda because of the qualities he has. Maeda in the Spanish League would be phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. The pace that he's got, Maeda could walk into any top team in Spain, Germany, Italy, because Italy's now on the up again as a football league. They seem to be getting their act together, the Italians in the Italians league. So is that an option for him to go to Italy? I don't think he'd go to Italy, but he could go to Germany. He could definitely go to one of the top ones in France, Spain and England easily. So it's going to be a case of, and I think Dyson is the type of player that he would not go to just any club, a bit like what Kyogo did. I think Kyogo just jumped ship just to try and prove something to his international manager. I think that Maeda is far too much of a thinker. And he will focus on what's best for his career. He knows that he can perform at the top level. You know, so I'm expecting some big bids to come in for Dyson this summer. And then next up was Mercury. Says, I probably have been Yang's biggest critic for a while now, and rightly so. He's been more often or not an empty jersey. Not anymore. I thought watching Messi today. Watching Messi, then Yang came on. Another performance like that, my next Celtic top will have Yang on the back of it. That's an interesting one. And then Kenneth says, Duggan well today, St Mirren are not a bad side. They proved that last week against the San Francisco. Again, there's no benchmark these days. There is no benchmark these days. So, with all those comments, let's jump in and see what users are saying. Rangers away form is crap. We will be fine. Yep. McLaughlin says, I honestly think that we will struggle to keep Kuhn, Maeda and Johnston this summer. Do you think that somebody will come in for Alistair Johnston? He did just sign a new contract. At the last transfer window. Signed an extension. Yang's wee bird's alright. Seen her in the chemist yesterday. How did you see Yang's bird in the chemist? That's not even funny. Kieran Douglas, how Arsenal never came for Maeda when all their strikers got injured. I think we've got 50 goals a season striker. He's not far off, is he, on the number of goals that Lee Griffiths scored in a season. I think he's only about 10 goals behind what Lee Griffiths scored in one season. Can he score that between now and the end of the season to equal what Lee Griffiths did? Interesting one. Next time we take a penalty, and Forrest is in the park. Just reading through some of these. Will Forrest get his goal? Let's hope Forrest gets back and gets a couple of goals, because he needs to get the goal. He's not scored this season, has he? James Forrest needs to score this season to set a new record. Also, Barry's phoning Clement, says Anton Rogan's left foot. We will need in the next window a striker, centre half, 2 wingers to keep what we have. We'll be okay next season. From Joe Docherty. I think that I just hope that it isn't a window like last summer. Brendan Rodgers is a manager that likes to have his players in early, and I feel that even Brendan Rodgers said himself at the end of the summer, the board could act quicker. We need to hit the ground running this summer. And anyway, before we get to the summer, we need to talk about when and where we could win the league. Yes, after yesterday's results, Celtic can officially win the league against St Johnstone. But that's when we could mathematically win the league, but we could win it without even kicking a ball. Yes, when you look at the games that are coming up, we'll jump into March and just check out the games that are coming up in March. Yesterday, the games that were played yesterday was Dundee 1, St Johnstone 1, Ross County 1, Kilmarnock 0, St Mirren 2, Celtic 5, Rangers 1, Motherwell 2. Today's games is Hibernian Hearts, 12:30 kickoff, and then Aberdeen versus Dundee United at 3 p.m. On the 15th of March, the games that are played that day is Hearts, Ross County, Kilmarnock, Hibernian, St Johnstone, Aberdeen. Interesting game for Aberdeen. They will want to try and push on that. St Mirren versus Motherwell. And then we both play on the Sunday. Celtic play Rangers on the Sunday. Dundee United play Dundee. So there's 2 derby games on Sunday the 16th. Oh, absolutely fantastic. And then we hit to the 29th of March. And this is when it could all change. Because Aberdeen play Motherwell, Hibernian play St Johnstone, St Mirren play Kilmarnock. Dundee host Rangers. Will the unbeaten run keep going until the Dundee game? Now, Dundee, I've got a sneaky feeling that if Celtic beat Hearts at Celtic Park at the 3 o'clock kickoff, and then Dundee beat Rangers, Celtic could be sitting in their houses, lighting up cigars, eating caviar, drinking champagne, or getting ready to order a takeaway on Just Eat. And the players will be sitting going, we've just won the league without kicking a ball. If Dundee beat Rangers, it's that's it. That is it. So we'll all be looking at the Dundee game and hoping for an absolutely fantastic meltdown on a Saturday evening. Because if Dundee beat Rangers that day, if they beat Rangers and we'll beat them. They're wash, man. And then so we could be champions before the end of this month. We won't not have to wait until April. We could be champions on the last weekend of the month. But then realistically, we head into April. And then if we beat St Johnstone away at St Johnstone's ground, and it'll be the last time that St Johnstone will be in the SPFL, because that will probably make sure that they are relegated, if not far off it. Which is a shame, because I like St Johnstone's ground, and it's an okay away game. It was always a good away game because it was only just 20 minutes up the road from us, up the motorway. So it was one of those nice away games. But it's a nice wee ground that they have there's nothing round about it. Will they be missed? More than likely not. St Johnstone in the league. But then we go on to the following week, and then Aberdeen entertain Rangers. Aberdeen will be fighting to try and beat. I mean, could Rangers potentially go to the end of the season without winning a game? Could Barry Ferguson break records? Could Barry Ferguson beat records? And could Barry Ferguson be the manager to have the worst record? I hope that happens. He's got the worst record ever of any Rangers manager. I can imagine the meltdown. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Anyway. Let's jump back into the comments. I'll just see what you're saying. Right, to still try to sell the best players, Matt, but as Scottish media keep trying. John, I think it's a reality that we know that Celtic are in. I just think it's a reality. We need to be realistic as a club. We know the limitations of how long we can keep a player. We're not the type of club that can keep a hold of players for 5 years or so. 5-6 years and build a nucleus of some fantastically world-class players. It just doesn't happen at Celtic. And that's the reality. I'm just being realistic, mate. I'm not trying to sell our best players. I just think that I understand the business model. We all understand the business model of Celtic, and we all understand that Brendan Rodgers can only do what he can with the cock that he's got, as they say, with the players that he's got. Potentially we can put 4 or 5 past after the European games. We'll have a few. Yesterday against St Mirren, we showed me we have no pace in the back line. I thought that the whole reason that Trusty was getting a game before Scales is because he was quicker than Scales. Yang was brilliant and said square sausage black. If we lose Maeda, Kuhn, the Champions League, fuck it, that's too much of a loss. Is it though? Because we've lost many players over the years. And it just depends whether we have a similar. Listen, people, it's unbelievable that people are saying that about Kuhn, because when he first come into the club, people are like, Kuhn's pish. Do you know, it's amazing how quick people change their minds within the space of a year. Do you know what I mean? Look at Yang. He's a perfect example of it. Is Yang the player? Now here's your front three potential for next year. Is Dyson, Maeda, Yang, and Jota. We keep a hold of Dyson, Maeda. You know, you've still got Jota and you've got Yang. That could be your front three going into the Champions League. Nobody will be talking about Kuhn. Not at all. So I think that as long as Yang keeps on progressing the way that he is, I think that he could be. You know, you'll not even be talking about losing the winger next year, and we'll just need to bring the one or so in. I was so glad that Celtic supporter. I remember being a season ticket holder during the Scumbers 9 in a row. Yep, young fans these days only used to winning. Fantastic times. It is, Pete, isn't it? It is. I mean, I've spoken about it before. I used to work in a factory in Kirkcaldy, and it was full of currant buns, and the abuse that I used to get was unbelievable. The sectarian abuse that I got at work back then was unbelievable. You know, it was unbelievable. And even when you went to the management, they were like, deal with it. Folk want to fight you just because you've been to Ibrox more than them. And I used to say that to them. But I've fucking been to Ibrox more than you clown. Fucking part-time fucking hun. But anyway, got to cut my stream bars. Counting the minutes. What? Hibs better beat that mob today. Lol. Ewan Boy Martin says Maeda is way better than Kyogo and gives much more just in goals. Club sniffing around, we'll need to start bidding at 30 million. Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a 30 million plus. We hold all the cards, but with only 2 years left on his contract, with only 2 years left on his contract, clubs might say, let's hang off a year and then see how he does in the Champions League next year again. And then we'll get him for lazy times. We'll get him for cheap money. Something today says one of the baby boys get into the Diet Huns, 3-1 them Hibs. Let's jump through some of the comments. A quality video of the Huns clapping the Onion Bears, did they? Flying Column. We haven't been consistent in our defending over the last few weeks compared to December and January. Yeah, that's true. And away games were terrible. Away games is just terrible. Our defending. I mean, what's happened since the beginning of the season? At the beginning of the season, our defence was on fire. You know, we went all the goals that we've scored against us. The majority of them have been away from home. Away from home. Anglo Inertia says, "I would accept 25. We will accept 25 for Dyson, but he's worth double that to us." He is, and I think that it will be 25 to 30 million with add-ons. I think it'll be. Way to boo them. Never seen them clapping. I wouldn't even break the bank. Possibly have Maeda the first 100 grand a week player. If we've got any ambition to play in the Champions League, get wins. There's no reason why we can't pay players that money. It's Virgil van Dijk on a free. He's staying at Liverpool, isn't he? I think, will Celtic break the bank? And will Dyson Maeda want to stay at Celtic? I think he'd love to stay at Celtic. It's all going to come down to money, and we know it. Idah's just hopeless, says Paul. He needs to go back and watch the start of the video. Is he hopeless, or is he just not getting the balls that he is looking for through the 6-yard box? Big change in the team in recent games is Taylor. Yes, Taylor. The fact that he has been out because his missus gave birth, fair play to that. But Jeffrey Sloop has come in and proved more than capable of playing that position better than Greg Taylor. Now, whilst I'll still hold my hands up and I say Greg Taylor, if he's not signing, if he walks away from Celtic this summer, the Celtic board need to hang their heads in shame. There's no player should have been allowed, especially when Greg Taylor was worth £8 million at one point to Celtic. They valued him at £8 million. And I think that allowing him to walk away for absolutely nothing, when we sold David Turnbull for £3 million with only 6 months to go in his contract, Greg Taylor, you would have got £3 million for him all day long. But anyway, McGregor's been off it for a while. The game changed yesterday when he went off. Is Ewan Boy Martin, I'm not sure what Brendan said yesterday about Callum, but is it the case is the same as this time last season? Remember, to the run-in to last season, Callum McGregor was getting hooked off because he was carrying an injury, and Brendan Rodgers says, look, he carries this injury at the same point every year due to the amount of games he plays, and it's about managing it. So is Brendan Rodgers just managing the player and hooking him off and saying, look, we don't really need him in this game? Yesterday, it's just we'll get him off, because the last thing you want, and you may say this, you may not like me saying it, you may not agree with me, but you need Callum for the running. He's got the experience to get us over the line. He knows how to get the teams over the line. He's done it before. He's done it 26 times, 24 times. He's picked up trophies. He knows how to get us over the line. If it's a straight shout between the likes of Callum McGregor and Nico Kuhn to stay on the pitch, I'd keep Callum McGregor on the pitch all day long. But anyway, I think it's... I didn't even notice Adam Idah. Lorna Gallagher's in the house. 42 goal contributions in 208 games isn't too bad for a left back. Exactly. Isn't too bad for a left back. But Celtic shouldn't be in the position that we're in, where he gets to walk away for nothing. He should have been sold. Good morning and greetings from County Clare, says Paul Hogan. Engels could drag this team over the line this season. Could Arne Engels, but does he have the motivation? Does he have the character as the captain does on the pitch? Engels can do it player-wise, but can Engels motivate the other players on the pitch when it comes down to it? Do you know, if we have a tough game between now and the run-in, Arne Engels doesn't seem to be the type of player that starts shouting at players, do you know, start pointing them and telling them what positions to play in. Engels doesn't have that experience. He doesn't have that experience. Give Dyson an EBT. Pay Maeda the money and give him a new contract. You get what you pay for. And Gus Fitzsimmons says, hit the like button. Mark says, Idah can't score if he does get the service. If he doesn't get the service. If we play to his strengths, and no point in playing him. Yes, I did. It's even on one of the shorts that I did on the channel, where he called the so-called big team. Because St Mirren have beat some of these so-called big teams. Absolutely brilliant. But Brendan Rodgers, Ian Aberdeen is in the house. Ian Aberdeen's in the house. Hi. Saying hi with humility, but your Rangers meltdown vows still make up for it, says Ian Aberdeen. Ian, what is going on with Aberdeen? They should be way in front of Rangers. I'm disappointed in how... I mean, what is going on with Aberdeen? I think that, do you know, it must be hard for you being an Aberdeen fan. I mean, I've got mates back home that are Aberdeen fans, and they just can't believe what's going on. They should have been in second place. The sheep is back in deep. Idah was a ghost. I want Engels off penalties. Surely Jota's better. I don't think so. I thought it was a good penalty yesterday. What was wrong with the penalty yesterday? I thought it was a cracking penalty yesterday. People know that he either goes right into the left or right corners, predominantly the left corner, but he changed it up yesterday, and rather than doing his stuttering kick, he kind of just slowed the ball down and placed it right down the middle, which completely changed it. So I thought it was a good penalty yesterday. Possibly next season would be a shout for Engels, having had his first treble, first attempt. He will love the feeling. Engels is going to be here for a few years, but I don't think he's captain material. Arne Engels isn't captain material of Celtic, sorry. If that's what you're getting at, Kieran, but I don't think that Engels is anywhere near captain material. And anyway, Ian Aberdeen, it's good to see you back. But great day yesterday. Yang was brilliant. Well done, Yang. Some of our fans are so fickle, says Anglia Ayrshire. Yep. You should see the comments that I see sometimes. I've stopped doing... I like doing the lives because you can interact with people. But when it comes to the comments, some of them... I went through a phase of just blocking and deleting loads of folk. Now I'm just like, fuck it, just leave them, man. Just leave it. And Idah done absolutely nothing yesterday to deserve to take it. But would have Adam Idah taken the penalty, give him that boost? I know that Arne Engels is the person that takes our penalties. Engels is penalty taker, that's it. Adam Idah, as striker, has got every right to grab the ball and say, I want to take it. But he also knows that Engels is the penalty taker. Engels in the penalty. Maeda proves service isn't everything. Don't start that shite to defend Adam Idah. He's rank rotten. Dyson Maeda creates his own service. And were you saying that, right? I'm just playing devil's advocate, Ryan the boy. Were you saying that when Adam Idah stepped up to the mark, if you put Adam Idah in the 6-yard box, he's going to score goals for you all day long? Right, how many times yesterday was Adam Idah in the 6-yard box? There wasn't many. Arnie the Terminator, his penalty hits the net. It's a good penalty. Maeda in the cup final. Tommy, thank you, Tommy. Yes, they're coming in this morning. Big shout out to Tommy55 for a super chat, and a big shout out to Ian Aberdeen for a super chat also. Give that some love. Here we go. And where's the Ian Aberdeen one? That's some love as well. Big shout out to Ian Aberdeen, and a big shout out to Tommy55. Absolutely fantastic people. Idah's only there to stop the shite. Oh, Jesus. Maeda gets his own assists. He does. Maeda does everything. Maeda gets his own assists, and Maeda runs out to the wing and creates his own goal. And the time that the ball comes in, Maeda's actually run in. puts his own cross in the back of the net. Maeda's that fast, and then he also then runs back and kisses Kasper Schmeichel before the referee even notices and blows the whistle. Oh, Jesus. If we got offered money back for Adam Idah this summer, Baz, would you take the money? No, I'd keep the player, because it then means that we're left with young Johnny Kenny, who's not proven at SPFL level, and then we have to go out and get 2 strikers. And what happens if we sell Adam Idah? We need to go out and get 2 brand new strikers. And then he sprints home afterwards. He does. He sprints home, kisses his wife, gets back to the ground, and Brendan's then turned around and missed the whole episode because he was shouting at John Kennedy. See, he told you he was that good. And then Brendan goes, where is he? He's coming back that way, boss. We could break the points record for first and second. Brendan Rodgers probably sees a player in Adam Idah. Yes, he does that. Adam Idah comes off and we kick up a gear. He can't start again until the league's won, says Ryan the boy who hates Adam Idah. Oh dear. Square Sausage Mix says, don't see that Idah has enough to have other clubs coming in for him. Idah doesn't have the confidence yet. So pleased for Yang's recent form boost. It was funny to hear Brendan Rodgers say because his bud's over in Scotland. Right? You all know what Yang's getting. Yang's getting the love. Yang's in the zone. He's like, come on. Yang's walking in like this. Brendan's like, right, he got it last night. He got it last night. Ryan the boy says, how long does Adam Idah need, for fuck's sake? How long did Yang get? Just put it out there, just playing devil's advocate again. How long did Yang get? How long's Yang been at Celtic? Yang's coming good now. Just saying. Paul Baird says, we won the league and the cup last season, remember. We won the league and the cup last season. Yeah, we did that with Adam Idah. Adam Idah scored the goals. If it wasn't for Adam Idah, we wouldn't have won the Scottish Cup. Just saying. Lanka says, Idah must be thinking Kyogo has left. Definitely get more game time, and then Maeda ups his game. Must be tough for Adam Idah. Of course it will. That's bound to have a mental knock on his confidence. You know, as soon as Kyogo leaves, he ramps up his game. He scores a couple of goals. People forget about Kyogo. And then Dyson Maeda plays through the middle, plays a complete blinder. And Adam Idah's like, the fuck do I need to do? We need to do. Yang looks unrecognisable the last few games. Yeah, and he's worked on his physicality. He's been pumping iron, and he's just been pumping iron this week. Should have got Yang's bird over here last winter. No Paul this morning, Baz. What should we do a poll on? Right, here we go. I can't put that. No, I'm not doing a poll. It's 38 minutes in, which is, we've been on for long enough. I think Yang looks tired. Oh, wait a minute. It's going to be a cracker. Yeah, sure. Give me 2 seconds. I take no responsibility for this poll. No responsibility whatsoever. This poll is just for laughs this morning. This poll is just for laughs. Who's getting more action? Yang, Rogers, Jota, Adam, Idah. Yeah. You asked for me. You asked for a poll this morning. The kind of action that Yang's getting, that his bird's over. Stop the Idah hate. We don't need a striker to bang in 30 goals a season. We'll have goals all over the pitch. This will be an interesting one to see. I think Taylor and Ralston get more action than the ones in the poll. Yeah, they're pumping out kids left, right and centre. Don't say that you don't get a laugh on this channel on a Sunday morning. Regardless of the poll, the Huns get pumped the hardest, says Jack Ryan. Yes, Anton Rogan's left foot. I cannot say that. Taylor's getting no action for months. Yep. Alan McGregor's so jealous. Oh, Jesus. So anyway, that was just for a bit of a laugh this morning. It's had 49 votes already. Who's getting more action? But anyway, amateur, I don't know, but who gives a fuck? You only live once, don't you? Look, footballers are young men. In my 20s, I was a dumper. I got dumped a lot. Big Idah just needs to go on Tinder to get his new bird. Oh, Jesus. Typical Scottish males non-stop at it. Brogues for sale. Adam Idah's on nada. Adam Idah's a 2%. I feel shame for him. I have nothing to do with that poll. Brendan Rodgers should have said. I have nothing to do with that poll. Brendan Rodgers shouldn't have said what he said yesterday. Paul Baird, wait, stop the news, wait, cut everything. Is Paul Baird? Is Paul Baird saying that he's siding with Brendan, or is he saying, or is he against Brendan? He's against Brendan, is it? Oh gosh, my sides hurt. My sausage square. Dave Hislop's just walked into an awkward conversation. It's one of those ones where you walk in and there's this awkward silence, and somebody walks in the door and said, "What are you talking about? Damn, I'm just going to go back out and come back in, and hopefully everything's back to normal. Everything's back to normal when you're talking about football." Anyway, let's get some Celtic news. Head. Sky Sports catches Adam Idah's touch towards Kalmak's teammate Yang that fans might have missed. Michael Stewart lost for words in big incident that occurred during Celtic St Mirren. McGregor mystery solved. 65 minutes. McGregor was made way for Luke McCown. One of 3 changes, Brendan Rodgers with Felipe Jota, Yang, and Adam Idah Nico Kuhn leaving the pitch. Arne Engels took over the captain's anchorman role in midfield with the switches that worked a treat to give the South Korean. Rodgers explained the McGregor mystery on Celtic TV. He just felt a bit of tiredness in his calf. The same as what happened towards the end of last season. So I was right. A bit of tiredness in his calf, a bit of tightness in his calf. This is what he had the same problem last year. So I didn't want to take any risks with him, so we took him off. And Luke coming on was fantastic. Arne Engels dropped back in, which was brilliant. 31-year-old McGregor was making his 43rd appearance as the Crusade crusade to the title continues. But yeah, so it was just more a precaution. You're not wanting to risk it. And that's what I said at the beginning of the video. I did say that I thought that may be what had happened, because it's the exact same point of the season last year that Callum McGregor started to feel the issue on his calves, and it was just down to the amount of games that he's played. And at 31-year-olds, he's not over the hill. But I'll tell you one thing, he's put in a shift for, and the fact that it can only help him, the fact that he doesn't play international football. First half strikes from Jeffrey Schlupp and Arne Engels with a nice penalty, had Celtic in front, and we'll know what happened with the game yesterday. So that solves that problem with the issue with the captain. Yang's on 75%. There's no many folk voting, is there? People are too embarrassed to vote on it. There we go, the votes are going way up now. Who's getting more action? Yang, Brendan Rodgers, Jota? How's Jota getting all the action? It's because he looks good. And then Idah on 1%. Lads, this morning for mass confessions will be interesting. Behave. Yang's puffed about, but let him enjoy it. He is, isn't he? Yang walks in like this. Walks into the training ground like this, isn't he? Swagger. He's got the swagger of them all. He's like, Yang walks in like that, and everybody's going, Yang's been getting it, eh? Surely no. Surely no. Anyway, I'm going to read some of these comments. Regardless of the poll, the Huns are getting pumped the hardest. They are that. I even bet he keeps his socks on. To be fair, Rodgers started this with the Yang getting his wang on. Yes, Brendan Rodgers did start this. Brendan Rodgers started this chat. He came in and typed it when nobody was looking. Flying Column says, lads, it's more than mass. We need to go confession. We should scout the J-League. Should scout the J-League and hopefully find another diamond. It's the hair with Jota. Here today, not gone tomorrow. Taylor's favourite pub has burned down since his wife had the baby. No sex life for months. Yeah, so Yang walks in like John Wayne. Yep. He must have been down for months. Yang strutting into the club. Where's all the birds, Yangy boy? Don't need all the birds, I need one. Name your one king for me. Notice Yang is limping as much, says Les. Oh, Jesus. Right, anyway, we're going to end that poll. It's not so much a poll, it's a shaft. End it. Cut it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Right. That's enough of that hilarity on a Sunday morning. Jesus. Oh, geez, stop it, Baz. I can't breathe. I can't breathe either. Oh, you're on one a day. I'm not on one a day. The Bold Taylor's terrible. I think we all know he's made it 3. Oh, oh my God. You're on form with the puns today. Yep. Totally on form with them today. Anyway, nobody's seen that coming. Right. Oh no, the screen's frozen. Let's close down some of these screens. And then, right, get back to it. The poll will make the news. That poll will make the news. Jesus. What's Mark saying? Go, Yang, go. Right, come on, enough of that nonsense. Let me see if there's any more Celtic headlines kicking around. Brendan Rodgers said yesterday after the game that it was one of his most favourite results of the season, especially after... I've not got it. No, because it wasn't on my laptop. Brendan Rodgers said after the game yesterday that it was a fantastic result after St Mirren had beaten some of the so-called big teams. I'm not even going to read the comments now. I can't stop laughing with your journey to Patoshi. It's less painful. Don't. My business is going to be saying, what the fuck are you even talking about on that live? St Mirren played an excellent game yesterday. They had a very good game plan, but it wasn't good enough because Celtic managed to pick up the 3 points. Brendan Rodgers went on to say it was an absolutely fantastic game after St Mirren had beaten some of the so-called bigger clubs in Scotland. Dyson Maeda was absolutely relentless again, and he jokes about how much that he needs a break. He did take to Twitter yesterday, Dyson Maeda, and said that he needs a break. He needs a break down to one game a week. Because he's like the roadrunner. Don't even go there. I was going to come out with a really, no, don't go there. See where you've took this chat this morning. See where you've took the chat. Callum needs a week off on the sick. Oh. Now I've got an image of Dyson Maeda and Yang at pace. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think we got away with a 3-2 penalty. Yeah, I think we did. I think we got away with. But VAR said that they did look at it, and because Alistair Johnson's foot kind of rolled over the ball first. He rolled over the ball first, kind of helped it not being a penalty, but beep, we got away with one. Yep, Yang Bang, I'm your man. See, now you're just alright, Brendan, giving Yang's bird an EBT, it's all sorted. But we definitely got one away with one yesterday. If it was against us, we would be shouting for that penalty all day long. Brendan Rodgers explains that Callum McGregor was taken off the pitch due to the fact that at this time of the season, again, the same as last season, he has a calf issue, which goes down to him playing so many games. He's one player that has played the majority of the games this season. And will James Forrest get back in time to score again this season? He hasn't scored this season. He got a really bad injury, which was at a time where you were just about expecting him to score that goal. He needs to score before the end of the season to just keep that record going of the goal scoring run of scoring in every single season since he's came to Celtic. I'm away for a lie down before I head out to the airport, pick up a family member, and yous have completely. we need to get Jamesy a goal. Yes, we do need to get Jamesy that goal. And if there's a penalty between now and look at the wind out there, Jesus, that's horrendous, man. If there's a penalty between now and the end of the season and James Forrest is on the pitch, I'm sorry, Arnie Engels, James Forrest needs to get it. James Forrest will come back and beat Adam Idah for goals this season. Not a chance, Ryan the boy, because Adam Idah's way in front of James Forrest. There should have been a penalty yesterday, Baz. Just show the ref lodge, you can still get it right. Forrest back against the save goal. We love you, Jamesy. We do that. Yang's transfer was a bit of a... yeah, I bet it was. Done and out here. I am done and dusted for this morning. It is 10:53. There's been over 1,500 people on the live this morning, which is good for a Sunday morning. He'll come on against the Zombies and score. Peace out, says You'll Never Walk Along Paradise. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans. Inward coming is the 55, the original 55.